All right. Well, they worked out the satellite bugs, so let's go back to Wausau, Wisconsin. Congressman Sean Duffy joins us. Yesterday, he announced that he was retiring from Congress. There, seated next to him, his wife, our Fox News contributor, Rachel Campos-Duffy. The reason given was you wanted to retire from Congress, Congressman, to deal with the health complications of your unborn child. So tell us about discovering what the problems were.
Yeah, so not long ago we found out that our little baby has a couple holes in the heart, and so after she's born, whether it's 2 to 6 months after life, she's going to need open heart surgery. They got to crack her open and fix the heart. They walked us through this yesterday. So I announced I was leaving Congress as I was walking in to meet with a heart doctor about what's going to happen with the baby. But listen, I love politics, but I love my family, and I think it's always a balance. And when you look at, Brian mentioned before we went to the last break, I mean, the schedules are grueling. I'm out in D.C. 4 days a week, and then I'm back with Rachel. But when I'm back here with Rachel and the kids, I have a big district, and you got to travel around and see people. And we get beat up a little bit as members of Congress. We're favorite punching bags, but they're really hard on families. And I didn't die. I kind of felt like I was at my funeral yesterday, but I'll figure out different things to do where I can have a better balance, where I can support Rachel and the kids, but not with the same schedule that I have as a U.S. Congressman.
Right. Rachel, you have...
And I would just add that every congressional family, I mean, I'm a congressional spouse as well as being a contributor for you guys, and when the spouses all get together, we all talk about work-life balance for our families. It's a really tough thing to do. It's tough if you have 2 kids. It's really tough with 9. And we've always been looking for signs, and this was a sign. You know, it's not the only reason. It's just an indication of the bandwidth is getting really tight here, and at some point you just got to put your family first. I feel really proud of what Sean's done in 8.5 years in Congress. I think the Republicans have saved American capitalism. It's a blue-collar recovery right here in Wisconsin. It wasn't that way when he started. The economy was definitely in decline over here in north and central Wisconsin. So I feel like, you know, Sean, I'm really proud of what he's done. And yeah, and I think that it just worked out.
Rachel,
like,
how are you doing? I'm sure when the doctor gave you that news, obviously, you know, heartbroken as a mom. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Well, you know, the initial news was shocking, but you know, I think we live in a time of amazing technology. I feel really confident when I meet with the doctors. They walk you through everything. I've been getting so many people who I had no idea their kids had been through this too, who have reached out to us and are offering advice and telling us what they did and what to expect. So it's been amazing. I mean, yesterday the outpouring of love and support that we received was pretty overwhelming. Not the least of which is from all my colleagues at Fox, and I really want to thank everybody who reached out. It really was very touching.
Rachel, has any of your other kids gone through this, or Sean, have any of the others?
No.
Did you have challenges like this?
No, that's why it was a little shocking. We've had pretty easy births and really healthy kids.
You know, we had really easy births. We do it really well together. She's great at having babies. This is the first one we've had with complication. And you know what? It's pretty easy for us in the sense that we're lifers. We believe in life, and whatever gifts God gives us, we accept them. And this is going to be a great gift. Yeah, it's going to be a little more stressful, but this little baby will have 8 other siblings to wrap their loving arms around her, and we're going to do it as a family. And you know, we'll figure out a different way to balance our lives. But this little baby couldn't have a better, more loving home to come into, and we're excited for her to come. And but it's going to be easier for her too, not to have her dad flying back and forth to Washington D.C. Someone else can save America, Brian, Steve, and Ainsley. I'm going to take a break, but you know what? I might come back to politics. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just at this time, I need to take a moment and make sure Rachel and I and this baby are healthy and doing well.
Well, Congressman, I'm sure a lot of people, given the fact that we've talked about health care for the last couple of years on this program and all across dinner tables around America, a lot of people are going, okay, well, what are they going to do about health insurance? You know, you've got health insurance right now. What is your plan? Because then the child would have a pre-existing condition, I would imagine, if you're going to switch health care providers, right? You've thought of all this already.
Yeah, I have. So just so you know, members of Congress don't get health insurance for life. I know you might have seen an email to that effect. So I can get on a COBRA plan after I leave Congress for 18 months. Okay. We pay the full boat for that, so we can transition. And with the condition of the baby, we have that complete coverage. But yeah, you're right. I had to look at that and make sure that with the open heart surgery, we had coverage to make sure that we could pay for that, and we've got that worked out. So thank God that's not a consideration as we look to the birth.
Now, Rachel, we talk about what's next, and can I make a suggestion? Of course, you would have to green light this, but Sean's got so many skills. He is a lumberjack by trade. Would he go back to working in the woods? Put on the plaid and, the thermal T-shirt and go back out there?
Or back to the real world.
Yeah.
Show that they had on.
Well, absolutely. We used to, before we moved to Wausau, we lived in a house that did have a wood-burning fireplace. And Sean, it was before Sean was a congressman, he had a lot more time, and he actually did chop the wood for our house. So
Brian, that was
looking forward to that.
15, 20 pounds ago, that would have been a great idea, but right now it's a little tougher. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be doing any lawn mowing. Professionally,
What
I
about
tip
your
those
district?
over.
I know it's a Republican stronghold. I know the president won by 21 points. You beat your opponent in the midterm election cycle by 22 points. What happens? Is there a special election?
Yes, no, we'll have a special election. This is a Republican-leaning seat, but I'm going to tell you what, Democrats have a lot more money than Republicans. The small dollar donors in the Democrat Party are a lot more aggressive than the Republican side. So if we get outspent 2-1, it could be challenging. But I think with this seat and the love for President Trump and conservative policies that have grown our economy, I think we're going to hold the seat. But it will be, I think, a raucous race. And I'll say this. President Trump called us yesterday, and specifically Rachel, too, and just gave us his well wishes and sent us his love, which I got. Is he on Air Force One? He's on Air Force One coming back from the G7 and took the time to call us. I just thought it speaks a lot about the president and how he values family as well. And I thought that was really cool of him.
Well, it was really good to hear your story firsthand from both of you. After the news broke yesterday, we wanted to hear you. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the Duffy family. Thank you very much for joining us.
Praying for that little girl.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Have a good morning.